Hey, how's it going, you guys? It's petplatypus here, and it's time to review the final episode of the Hunter x Hunter 2011 anime. It's been a long journey. Reviewed it all the way from episode 1. Did that like way back last 2013. Took a huge fucking hiatus, so to speak, and started from episode 4 and kept going all the way to now. And yeah. Once again, like I said in the previous episode, it really does feel like you could end the series here and it would still be a satisfying ending, but as far as like this episode is concerned, once again, like I said, you could end it here. I mean, yeah, it opens up possibilities, but they could just be, you know, the continuing adventure, you know, it's like an open-ended type of thing. But anyways, I guess I should summarize. Gon climbs the tree. You have like flashbacks of Leorio and them and the Hunter exam. It pretty much goes through each arc, doing little flashbacks. Those were okay. He gets to the top. Not the top, but he gets to like this station. He shows the ID, climbs up, helps this one guy who was failing. He climbs it like a beast. He gets to the very top with Jing. Jing's sitting there and they talk to each other about stuff. We get to see how Jing got started with the archaeologist stuff. And what ends up happening is Gon tells some stories, Jing tells some stories, he asks what Jing wants. And what Jing basically says is, I want to see what I can't see right now. Basically just explore is pretty much all there is to it. And then he talks about how the world map is not the entire planet and that it's just an enormous, beyond fucking, you know, place. It just, the regular map that they have is not the entire planet, and that's definitely really cool. It's a concept I've seen. One Piece has done this. Toriko, it's like one of the center things of Toriko. I mean, Hunter x Hunter came out a long time ago, but then when you consider the hiatuses, I don't really know what series did it first. I mean, definitely not Toriko, but One Piece might have introduced the concept of the New World before Hunter x Hunter did, just because of all the fucking hiatuses Togashi takes, but like, either way, it's always cool to see something like that. And he talks about how the world tree is a sapling, and that's insane that there's trees. I mean, it's just a tree, so there's nothing to get that exciting about, but just the concept that the planet must be so big that world trees can get that huge and still be like on the planet and everything. That's pretty damn insane. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely great information. It's definitely huge progression as far as the world building of the series. We don't really see much else. We see Kurapika. We see more of what Kurapika's doing briefly. There's a bunch of Kurta eyeballs in front of him, so obviously he's been on the hunt for those. Whatever. Kurapika's not one of my favorite characters in the series, honestly. Definitely my least favorite of the main group. I don't hate the character. It just does nothing for me. And no, you know, no quirks or anything. Just, I don't care about the Kurta eyeball stuff, honestly. But it's cool that he's progressing. I think he's kind of a dick for doing that over, you know, going to see Gon, but there may be more to it. There is another arc in the manga. Just have to wait and see, but... And Leorio's just kind of doing his thing. We get to see other stuff, the bet that Nav and Morel had, and just a couple of other characters kind of having fun or whatever. This one troll moment where they show Gato, but then it's one of those weasel things that can shapeshift. That little scene was kind of weirdly presented, but... you know, because with no dialogue, it just felt kind of weird, but, you know. But yeah, we saw all those flashbacks and stuff, but, yeah, and it just kind of gave closure to a bunch of different characters. I don't know how much of this was in the manga or how much of it they just kind of threw in there to kind of fix the pacing, but yeah. Really scary, creepy-looking bird things where Jing was hanging out. But yeah, and then Gon gives him back the card. So, you know, that's done. That was in the opening. That was stupid that they showed that, but, you know. And they played Departure over the whole... I remember all the way back in my very first review, I was like, the opening's kind of meh, so if it's the opening for the whole series, that's kind of meh. But now I fucking love it. It's an awesome opening. I've been liking it for a long time. It's just, it's so funny to think back to the very first time I reviewed Hunter x Hunter, and I was like, it's a decent opening, and then at the very last episode, you see the opening start to play, and I'm like, oh, that's awesome. You know, it's just crazy. But yeah... Just a great fucking... oh yeah, they also mentioned that the Chimera ants are not... They're a foreign species. They aren't from, like, the NGL or whatever. They're from, beyond, you know, they're from like in the crazy new fucking gourmet world type shit, like from Toriko and shit. But like I said, Hunter x Hunter did it first, but you know what I mean. And the gourmet world pretty much totally rips off Hunter x Hunter when you think about it. I mean, I won't say it's a rip-off because it's a pretty broad concept. It's not specific enough to really rip off, but it's obviously he took inspiration from Hunter x Hunter. That's pretty much all there is to the episode, honestly. I mean, as a reviewer, there's not much I can really say. He already met Jing once, so this isn't that monumental, giving him the card. It's some story progression. We kind of see what all the other characters are doing, but I mean, not a ton of story progression here and there. And it's not like this is the ending. You know, there is more to the story, but yeah, I mean, the conversations they had, they were okay. As far as, like, overall world progression, there was, of course, a ton. That was great. Animation was surprisingly very good, considering there wasn't any action. They kind of put a lot into the budget, probably because it's the last episode. But yeah, it was just really well presented, and it showed a lot of cool stuff, you know, flashbacks and everything. Those were, you know, okay, but, you know, overall, it was a good episode. I mean, I don't even know what to rate this episode, really. I feel like just giving it like a 7.5. It's like, it's the final episode of Hunter x Hunter, and I'm like, it's good. But it is, you know, it's a good episode. It's a 7.5, but, you know. But yeah, I mean, it's as good as you want it to be, honestly. It just depends on how you feel about the series ending. You could be like me, and I'm like, well, Togashi's a lazy motherfucker, so obviously they had to cut the anime short, and they'll probably pick it up later, so I'm okay with it. Or you're someone that's like, fuck, it's ending, no, sad face, but... Or maybe you're just some fucking hater, and you're just like, oh, fuck, finally, it's over. And it's like, anybody who's like that can just never speak to me, because Hunter x Hunter is a fucking great series. I can understand people loving it more than the series that I like more than it, but I cannot understand anyone not liking it, honestly. It has something for everybody. I can understand people not liking aspects of it like I do, but I don't understand anyone who wouldn't like the series. It's just fantastic. It just sucks the author's lazy as fuck when it comes to like everything. He's lazy on consistency and he's lazy on art, but whatever. But yeah, it was a good episode. It was a 7.5. It was Hunter x Hunter, the last episode. Feels like a good halfway point or cap for the series. I'm definitely going to read the manga, what little of it there is to read, and then I have to wait for Togashi, like everyone else. But anyways, thanks for watching this video. Tell me what you guys thought of this episode in the comments below. Tell me what you guys thought of the entire Hunter x Hunter 2011 anime compared to the manga, and just in general, your thoughts on Hunter x Hunter. And yeah, this will be the last Hunter x Hunter review possibly ever, considering, I mean, if he ever finishes the fucking series. But anyways, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.